I know a lot about birth control right now because I recently had to do something kind of cool. I have an announcement to make. Do you guys want to hear it? Yeah! Last month I froze my eggs. I always love this reaction from people because the women always clap and the guys just panic. Like they think they're in trouble or something. Which is so weird to me because I thought guys would love that I froze my eggs. I thought I would be like the sexy, awesome girl who doesn't want to get pregnant right now. But no, it's not hot. It's not an aphrodisiac. Guys aren't into it. You can't be hooking up with a guy and he's like, hey, do you have a condom? I'm like, don't worry, boo, my shit's on ice down by the airport. Guys aren't into it. Maybe it's because you guys don't know what it is. That's what I think. Do you know what it is? No idea. Just based on the words egg, freezing. Just freeze them? Just freeze them? What's that move? Just freeze them. You mean like, they're not in my freezer. It's not like a freezer drawer. Just put them in the fridge. It's just, you know what this guy is? Just based on your response to that, you seem like you're like literal guy, you know? Like everyone's dated literal guy, the guy who in an argument just sticks to the facts. You're the guy who's like, no, I didn't say you were a bitch, I said you were being a bitch. And then you're like, shit, I gotta regroup, hold on. What about you? Do you know what it is, egg freezing? Yes, you do? What? Whoa, good. You cryopreserve your eggs. That was good. You've been watching some weird porn, obviously. Yeah, so basically, I just realized that most guys don't know what it is. I found this out because the week that I froze them, I had to be on bed rest for a couple days, and I had to cancel a gig. So I told my agent, can you tell the manager I need to reschedule it? I go to the rescheduled date, the manager runs up to me, he's like, are you okay? I heard your ovaries were removed. I was like, okay, let's just talk about this. So essentially, you freeze your eggs if you want to get pregnant at some point, but just not right now. Like, I'm not ready. I would like to have a kid at some point, but I'm not responsible enough yet. I still leave coffee on the top of my car like twice a day. I should not be a mother right now. And biology is, again, completely backwards. Like, it's ridiculous to me that a 15-year-old girl can get pregnant easily, but a 45-year-old woman can't. Like, I have never met a 15-year-old girl and been like, you would make a great mom. Love your Instagram selfies. I think you're ready to be responsible for a human life. No, and all my girlfriends in their 40s are fucking awesome. They're all like superheroes. They can do anything. I have a girlfriend the other day, had a splinter. She ripped it out with her teeth like it was nothing. I have a girlfriend, she's 45. She can return things at a store without a receipt. That's like some Jason Bourne shit right there. I'm really glad that I did it. I feel like it took off all this pressure that I had on me, you know? Like, I realized before I froze my eggs, there was just this constant inner monologue that was like, is this the guy you're gonna be with? If not, you have to move on to someone else. And I felt like I had to accomplish all my professional goals by the time I was like 35. And it was just in the back of my mind all the time. Like, I'd be in traffic and I'd be like, you guys, let's go. I'm rotting from the inside. We gotta move, okay? Uterus is molding. Let's move. I feel like you guys will never understand that pressure because you guys don't have that clock. Guys can have kids as late as they want. Clint Eastwood had a kid at like 70 years old. Robert De Niro had one at like 68, which is so weird to me. The idea of having a kid at 68 years old, that's like being like, I really want a kid, but only for like 10 years. And I want to be deaf for most of it. I'm so glad I did it. It took all this pressure off. Like, I used to be the stress case. Now I'm just chilling. Man, so easy. Like, my agent calls me up. He's like, where's that script? I'm like, I don't know. I'm high as fuck. Call Sarah Silverman or some shit, man. Because I'm watching Game of Thrones again today. You freeze your eggs for a couple of reasons. If you want to postpone having kids, also if you want to get a surrogate at some point, which I'm kind of obsessed with the idea of getting a surrogate. It's like you hire a woman to carry your kid for you, which I really want to do at some point. But I feel kind of guilty about that idea because when you get a surrogate, you're essentially like asking another woman to do your dirty work for you. It's like worse than a guy getting a hooker. Because when you get a hooker, you guys just want to use a woman's body for an hour. I want to use it for 9 months. and totally wreck it. I'm literally gonna destroy that shit. It's not nice. I just feel like I would like my kid so much more if I didn't carry my kid. Does that make sense? Like, I totally support those toddler and tiara moms. I think those kids should work. I think they should have to tap dance to pay for all the damage they did to those poor women. Although, I feel like if you have a surrogate have your kid, you can't control the kid as well. You know, like the way my mom used to guilt me into doing things is she'd be like, I carried you for 9 months. I'd be like, that's a good point. But if, like, I had a surrogate, what am I gonna say? I'm gonna be like, I had to drive 10 minutes to pick you up. Traffic was a nightmare. Yeah, it's not as good. When you freeze your eggs, the doctor asks you if you want to get a donor, like a sperm donor, because if you want to freeze embryos, you know, like basically if you freeze an embryo, that means a sperm fertilizes the egg, and I was like, I don't have any sperm available in my house at the moment. So he's like, maybe you should get a donor. And I wasn't really ready for that, but I got super obsessed with the kind of person who would become a sperm donor. So I went online and I was like on the donor site. You'd think that sperm donors were complete losers. Not true. In order to be a sperm donor, you have to be at least 5'8". I was like, I'm sorry, what shallow bitch was 45 years old, not married, no options, goes into the sperm bank and is like, oh, 5'7"? Never mind, I'm gonna get on Farmers Only and take my chances. And in order to be a sperm donor, you have to have at least 4 years of college. I was like, I don't want my sperm donor to have 4 years of college. Because if you have 4 years of college and you're jerking off into a cup for $100, you're a drug addict. And if you don't have 4 years of college and you're jerking off into a cup for $100, you're an entrepreneur, and I like your hustle. You can be my baby daddy any day. You will? I'm good. Pass.